Soft tissue.
All right, first we're going to do upper trap. Rotate the patient's head away, grab onto the occiput, and now for upper trap, we're pulsing into the head. 3 pulses, feeling for the end field of the muscle. For lower upper trap, have the patient's head rotated toward the side we're testing. Again, under the occiput, laterally flex, and then pulse into the head again, 3 pulses. Now I'm going to have the patient sit on their hand. Now we're going to test levator scap. So it looks just like upper trap. We rotate away from under the occiput, laterally flex that way, but now instead of pulsing into the head, 3 pulses into the shoulder. 1, 2, 3. Notice the hand here, stay put, we pulse into the shoulder. For suboccipitals, which is on the rubric, but I don't remember going over it in class, we're going to grasp under the occiput, and this is just like testing for an occiput. And we're going to place a hand on the forehead, and we're going to pulse up with the underneath hand. So we're actually kind of inducing rotation like that of the occiput in the condyles. So that's all for the neck muscles. Now for the back muscles, I'm going to have you scoot down. Oh yeah, for the other neck muscles. First we'll test SCM. So to test the right SCM, rotate the head to the left. So we're testing the SCM that's up. And just let the head fall down. Come forward a little more. Make sure that your patient is forward enough on the table so that their head doesn't hit the table. And then just let it come all the way down. We're looking for rotation one way or the other for type. So that would be for SCMs. Now for anterior middle scalenes, we're going to put piezoform on the mastoid. For anterior scalenes, the head should rotate towards us because we're on the anterior portion of the mastoid. So come here and pulse into the mastoid. That would be anterior scalenes because the head is rotated toward. For middle, slide down a little bit more, still on the mastoid though. Head should maintain vertical, come here, and pulse. For posterior, we need to be on the posterior aspect of the mastoid. Again, let the head fall down and pulse. So with all of these, the head is fall down and we're just pulsing that way. So that's anterior middle scalene and SCM. And that's it for the neck muscles. All right? Go ahead and stand up or scoot down. We'll do first, multifidus is up, F-em up. So for multifidus, we want to have the patient facing up. Now I'm going to have him bend his knee, and we're going to test the right multifidus, so involve side up. So now I'm going to help the patient. I'm going to tell the patient I need you to go on this hip for me, leaving your back against the table, and I'm going to help swing you around. Ready? There we go. Flip him right up onto his hip, so now he's straight up and down on the hip. We're going to stabilize the shoulder here, put the forearm on their back, on their butt, and all we're doing is pulsing in here with the forearm, testing the multifidus. And again, that's right multifidus because it's right side up. Now go ahead, face down. Now face down for lumbar, for erector spinae. Now again, we're going to have this hip down, and we're going to test the right side. So I need you to put this hip on the table and bring this hip up for me. And you can help the patient a little bit. You need to keep their shoulders on the ground or on the table. So you're going to come crossed here. Now this time your forearm is in front of the patient because you're going to pulse towards you. So we're testing here and we're pulsing that way to test the erector spinae. Go ahead. Now come up off the table. Now we're going to test QLs. Face that way for me. So QLs from here to here. I'm going to have to test the right QL. I'm going to have the patient bring his right arm up. I'm going to hold the patient's hips in place and have you laterally flex to the left. And now we're looking for fluidity of the motion here while we're holding the hip and range of motion. So I would say his QLs are probably a little bit, there we go. All right. Now for upper extremity, we've got the shoulder. First we'll do pecs. Then have the patient lay down, face up. So for pec major, I'll have the patient all the way over to the edge of the table so that the arm doesn't catch on the table. And I'm going to have hand up, and I'm going to have just drop the pec. So we want it to drop straight down, and then we can pulse into it, just like that for the soft tissue mobility. For pec minor, we're going to go 10 degrees lower than that, or 80 degrees, somewhere in this general vicinity. And again, drop it down, hoping it drops straight, and then just pulse into it for pec minor. Now, for infraspinatus, I'm going to have him bend the elbow. We're going to come here, We'll make sure that the elbow doesn't come up off the table, and we're just gonna, or shoulder doesn't come up off the table, and just pulse into it this way. Okay? And then, I don't remember if we did subscapularis or not, but subscapularis is just the opposite. So, pulse in this way for the soft tissue mobility. Now, for supraspinatus, have the patient flip over. I'm going to have you grab the edge of the table here like this. We're bringing it across this way, holding down here on the scapula, and we're pulsing in, just like that, for the subscapular, or supraspinatus, right there. And that's it for the shoulder.